Okay, we're live. I'm attorney Vincent Davis, and this is The Secret, How to Fight CPS and Win. And tonight it's the Parents Edition. And I have my co-host with me, Miss Georgette Truen. Miss G, how are you this evening?
I'm good, thanks.
Good to see you. And we have some very special guests here tonight. We have Christina, is it Laycock?
Laycock, as it sounds, yes.
Okay. And the handsome gentleman next to you is?
This is Jimmy Laycock.
Okay, Jimmy, Christina, how are you? And welcome to the show.
Pretty good, thanks.
We're doing good.
Good. What state are you guys from?
Missouri.
Oh, what part of Missouri?
North central part.
Okay. Is that anywhere near St. Louis?
No, we're about an hour north of Columbia.
Okay. Now, here's an interesting fact. My grandmother on my father's side is from Missouri.
Oh, interesting.
And I was trying to think the name of the town, and I can't think of it right now. But anyway, she's from Missouri. So what's going on with CPS there in Missouri?
Well, they included my other children. They were taken back in 2020, and all because of unsanitary living, which was simply over roaches. I mean, yeah, I admit they are nasty, but they were placed in a foster home for 65 days, and they had me, or us, remodel pretty much the whole upstairs before they could come home. And then I got them back February of 2021.
Yep.
Yeah, 21. And it went good up until, well, we went on vacation in Michigan, and two of my girls happened to stay overnight at a cousin's house. And, you know, it's legal there, and we didn't think nothing about it. Well, my girls got a hold of some edibles, and they put it down after they realized that it had THC in it. But then they went to their father's house, and his wife decided to have a urine test done on my oldest daughter, and it came back positive. And they called CPS and got my boys taken out and placed with their father in October of 21. And from that day on, I've been battling custody battle and everything, trying to get my boys back home. And just recently, back in, what was it? December. Yeah, December. Actually, it was New Year's Eve. My oldest son's, well, the boys' dad decided to smack my son on the ear because he was roughhousing with a puppy.
Hard enough to where it bruised his ear pretty bad.
And the judge still placed the boys back with him. And now we got more allegations on top of this. And it's just crazy. Can you help me out?
Well, the father's trying everything he can to keep the boys from coming back here. Even though he did that to Brettley, they found nothing. Sorry. Even though they did that to our boy, they found no findings of any kind of abuse. They charged him with domestic assault and still placed the boys back with him.
How old are the boys?
10 and 10 and 8.
Do you have visitation with them?
As of right now, no. because the allegation that he made is saying that Jimmy and I forced my 14-year-old daughter of doing
Sexual things.
activities with my 10-year-old and locked my 8-year-old in the room so he didn't know nothing about it.
And that's what the father is saying?
Yes. And it's
Okay.
a false allegation.
Have you had a trial yet?
No.
How long has the case been open in court?
It hasn't went to court yet. My son went to his forensic interview last Tuesday, and now my daughter has to go through a forensic interview tomorrow. But my son's forensic interview, he actually, said that the stuff happened because he got brainwashed by his father.
So he's saying that it's not true that the father made him say it. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's going to turn out to be good for you, right?
Well, I would hope so.
So there has been no case yet. You haven't gone to court yet?
No.
Okay. Do you have any specific questions that you wanted to ask me about the case or about the investigation?
Well, how is it that a judge can only go by a forensic interview back when the case, it's still open? When he smacked my son on the ear, when he didn't have, for instance, the police report or even the hospital report stating what all happened. He only went by the forensic interview when he didn't admit that his father hit him because his father brainwashed him then too.
Well, yeah, because he was saying that.
Hold on a second, because I'm a little confused. You say you haven't been to court yet, but you're telling me what a judge did, so I'm confused.
When he smacked him on his left ear.
How long ago was
that one was March 9th.
2023?
Yes.
Okay. Did you go in front of a CPS judge or did you go in front of a family law judge?
It was a family law judge.
Okay.
Well, it was also CPS because CPS was supposed to have been there to stand up.
He runs both.
Yeah, he does both.
He's the only judge they got in this county, well, the surrounding 3 counties or so that he works in.
Well, let me ask you this. Was the case that you went to regarding the ear, was that a CPS case or a family law case?
Not sure on that one.
Good question on that.
Was there a state attorney there or a county attorney there representing CPS?
No, I guess not.
Nobody from CPS even stood up.
Well, in that case, you probably were at a family law hearing. Okay. Now, believe it or not, in California, and maybe in your state too, I'm not sure, family law cases use a different code, a different law than CPS cases. They're not the same. But in some places, especially smaller counties, you'll find the same judge doing both family law and, CPS cases. But that doesn't mean they're the same type of case or that the same law applies, the same procedure or evidence applies. You follow me?
Yeah.
So sometimes things happen and people think that their sense of justice should rule and help make the decision. But, I tell this to people all the time. Everybody in the courtroom has their own agenda and probably don't know what the law is with respect to that particular hearing and that particular type of case. So I can't tell you why, the judge made a decision one way or the other with respect to the injury to the ear. There may have been other evidence that the judge considered or believed, who knows? But I can tell you with respect to the case, you have coming up, if they do file a CPS case, what I would advise you to do is get some consultations around your county or your town, or possibly somewhere in your state, someone that knows Missouri law, and get some
Right.
advice, get some free advice. As a matter of fact, I would start doing that now. It
Okay.
sounds like CPS is doing an investigation as to the allegations against you made by the father of the other child, or the father of the children. And that's something that you're going to have to deal with. In this particular case, I'm not sure that it's CPS's fault. More so, it sounds like it's the father's fault, who's making these false allegations against you, right? When somebody makes allegations against you, it is the responsibility of CPS to investigate. The problem comes in how they investigate, and what they do, and what they report. Okay, that's a whole nother issue. But they have to investigate by law. If I were to call them up and say, "Hey, Christina is abusing her children. She's doing this, this, and this." By law in California, they're supposed to investigate. Somebody's got to come to your house and knock, knock, knock. "Hey, we got this chart. We got this allegation made against you. Can I see the kids?" Right? And if they
Right.
don't
Okay.
do that, and if they don't do that in California, maybe in your state, but in California, they'll be sued. They'll be sued for millions if they don't investigate and something happens to the kid. There's a couple famous cases here right here in Southern California, where allegations of child abuse were made, uh, and either CPS didn't investigate, or said they did, but they really didn't, or they did it haphazardly, and the child ended up dead.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. See, we don't think about those things, but that's the kind of stuff that can happen. So, what you should do is, when you get off the show tonight, Google the name Gabriel Fernandez. Okay. Google Gabriel
All right.
Fernandez. It'll be, the stories will come up. It's a case out of Southern California, and it's going to be frightening what you read. And that was a case where CPS didn't do their job at investigating. Not
Right.
so you have these cases going both ways. Either they're investigating and they're doing something wrong during their investigation, or they're not investigating at all, and sometimes saying, "Oh yeah, we did investigate," but they really didn't. Right? So you got the
Right.
competing interests on both sides. Are your children still placed with you, or did they take them away from you?
They're placed. I got my 3 girls, or we got our 3 girls, and the 2 boys are still with him.
Still with the father.
Yes.
Okay. Did they place the boys with him, or were they always placed with him?
They were always placed with me up until October of 21.
And then what happened?
Well, there was some pictures taken supposedly of some kids upstairs in the girls' room and smoking weed. Well, they said that one of the boys in the picture was one of our boys, and the boy in the picture had black hair, and our kids has got red hair and blonde hair. So the picture didn't even match what they were talking about, and the judge pulled the boys out of our house anyways because of that reason.
The family law judge, not the CPS judge.
He's the
Well,
same judge.
he's the same judge.
But okay, let me rephrase. The judge removed the boys because of the law in family law, or because of the law in CPS law?
CPS.
The CPS law. At that time, we were under invested. What was it? CPS investigation. For the cop pulled our kids out of the house, even though they said there was nothing wrong. He pulled them out, and we've been fighting ever since to try to get them back. We had to, like she said, we had to remodel the whole upstairs. We had to have exterminators come in, and we had to do all kinds of stuff, jumping through all kinds of hoops. And now they pulled the boys out because they said that they were around the girls when they were smoking weed, and now we're fighting to get them back. And they're wondering, why didn't they pull all the kids, not just the 2 boys?
It's because their dad is against marijuana all the way. Because he even used a meme that I shared on Facebook out of a group against me in court.
That social media can get you in trouble.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I blocked him.
Let me ask you something. Missouri, here in California, marijuana is legal for those over a certain age, both medically
It is here too.
and recreationally. But it is in Missouri as well.
Yes.
Okay.
As of December of last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or November, whatever.
But here's the problem in your case: the people using marijuana allegedly in those pictures probably they weren't of age, right?
No, they were not of age.
Yeah. So that's the problem.
And we didn't even know what was happening.
No, we didn't.
I know.
Because I smoke myself, so the house already smells like it in our room, and we was in our room, they was upstairs in their room, and smoke rises, so we didn't have no clue.
And they didn't get it from him either. They went to the park that's a block and a half away and playing basketball, and they got peer pressured into getting a joint from the guys that were down at the park. And they waited until we went to bed and did it upstairs.
Okay. Well, sounds like a small problem. Has any social worker told you or advised you to stop using marijuana in your home?
No.
When the kids are present?
No.
No?
Because he does it in the bedroom, away from the kids.
But here's the thing. He just told me smoke rises to the top.
Right.
That's something that if somebody brings up, I know I've heard this argument before in cases in California. So don't be surprised if you hear it there in Missouri. All right. Let me just divert a second. Candace, watching on YouTube, has a question. What's your question, Candace? My case is void AB and ab initio with the procedure that I would need to do to be able to get my daughter. I'm not really following that. Miss G, can you help me out on the translation there?
Her case is closed, and she needs the procedure to be able to see what she can do to get her daughter back.
Oh, to get her daughter back. Okay. Candace, what state are you in? Need to know that first of all. Okay, Christina, when is your next court date or your next interview with, the CPS worker?
I don't know when.
I don't think there's one set up right now.
Next court dates.
Not until July for the motion to modify.
Yeah.
Okay, that would be a motion to modify is generally in a family law case under the family law code. And
right.
You would make that motion if you're trying to get the boys custody back into your home. Is that what you're doing?
No, there's probably going to be a court date with this one now because of the false allegation.
Okay, but they haven't filed that case yet, right?
Right, because my daughter's got to go to the
forensic interview.
If your daughter says the same thing your son said at the forensic interview, I doubt that they're going to be able to file a case because they don't have any evidence other than.
No, my son actually said it happened.
Oh,
my daughter's. Yeah, because his father brainwashed him enough to get him to say that. My son is ADHD. He's not comprehending a lot of things.
And he's done hit him in the ear, so the boy's scared of him anyways.
But I thought you told me at the forensic interview your son said that it didn't happen, that it was a dream or something?
Misunderstood you.
Oh,
I misunderstood you. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, he brainwashed him enough to get him to say what he wanted him to say.
Well, in that case, you are probably going to have a CPS case opened up against you, especially if the daughter corroborates it.
She done told a caseworker, one, ew, that's incest. Two, I don't like boys like that. Three, I'm going to change the wording. I'm flipping gay. I changed the word, so
Okay, I get it.
being respectful.
I get it. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's tough. Do you have a private lawyer that's helping you in your cases?
Well, somewhat.
Okay, so that's like being pregnant. Either you are or you aren't. There's
Right.
I'm a little
Well,
pregnant.
sometimes we can get a hold of him and sometimes we can't.
Okay, but you've hired a lawyer and you're paying him, and he's representing you in court, right?
Actually, we walked in as we hired him, but the judge turned around and put him as court appointed.
For a family law case or a CPS case?
Family law.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. In Missouri, you get court-appointed counsel for family law cases? Interesting.
Well, that's what it was over.
Well, it's over both, actually.
Yeah, it's over both.
When you say it's over both, what do you mean?
Well, it started out when they first pulled the kids out of the house.
That's when it.
That's when it all started, and we talked to him because I know him, and I asked him if he could take the case for us, and he said he would. And then after about a month or two into the case, the judge decided to pay him as a court-appointed attorney instead of a paid attorney.
Well, that might be beneficial for you, right?
Yeah, it was. I don't know if he's still going to proceed in it because I haven't been able to get a hold of him.
Mm-hmm. You call him or send him an email or text or what?
Not call
all
him.
three.
Okay.
I send him emails and texts, and you call him.
So what questions do you have for me this evening?
What was the questions? I done went blank.
That's all right. Hold it. While you're thinking of that, I'm going to ask Miss G. Miss G, have you been listening to the story here?
Yes, I have.
Do you have any questions or any comments?
I just wanted to ask if I heard. I wanted to see if I heard that right. You hit your teenage boy? Is that what I understood, or you smacked your?
That I hit him?
No. Somebody.
No.
Who smacked him? I didn't hear.
His father.
Okay,
His father smacked him, and he's only 10.
He smacked him really hard.
Oh yes, really hard. We have photos of the ear and stuff, and his father tried to say that I colored it in with a marker to make it look darker to take the picture, and we took it like right outside when he just got into the car from his dad's truck.
Can I kind of show you a picture without him, without his face actually being in it?
No.
Okay.
Usually an abuser would actually say that. They would always make excuses about the bruises on the child. I honestly think that, well, in my opinion, whatever that means nowadays, but I think you guys need to find a attorney in your county, an outside attorney, not anybody, an attorney that's not corrupt. Let me put it to you that way.
Right.
And
right.
because he will, if he did that to his own flesh and blood, he's going to continue to do that to his child. He's not.
Oh yeah.
It's going to get worse, and that child is going to run away. That child is going to get into substance abuse. He's going to numb his pain, and that's usually what children do when they have abusive parents, in the home. So that's just my opinion.
Right. We don't want that for him. That's why we're trying to get him out of that home.
Right. And that's important. I think that's very important for you to get him out of that home. However, I do believe with the pictures that you have, they can also determine if those pictures are fake or not.
Oh,
There's
they're not.
there, I know that. I believe you. Believe me, I believe you. But I mean, they can determine. But again, you're gonna have to talk to the attorney, really, because there's a way to know if these pictures are fake or not. In fact, the child also can be questioned. The child can also say, "Hey, these were not fake." And I believe I believe he can be heard. I might be wrong, but he's 10 years old.
Right. It's either his dad had him so confused when he was in the forensic interview. He said that I hit him in the ear, and then he's like, "Well, no, maybe my dad did it or the dog did it."
But he's
Is
covering up.
what he said.
He's covering up for
Yeah, he's
the reason for
yep.
that is the reason. Let me tell you why. The reason for that, and I heard that from a 13-year-old and a 15-year-old. Okay, that I know very well. They said that the reason they had to lie when they were getting beaten is because their dad, when you're dealing with a narcissistic parent, their dad gives them the guilt trip, meaning he will go to jail if they would speak up. So the kids are
Right.
conditioned from that age to cover for the parent. That's because they
And
don't
that's exactly
know.
what's going on.
Yeah, they don't know. All they know is that they don't want to see their dad, even though he's abusing them, but they don't want to see their dad in jail. So therefore, they will cover for him. And if he has a wife, and you know, and you idiot in his life, then she would, enable him, and she would cover for him as well.
Oh,
Um,
she is.
yeah. See, I didn't hear that part, but yeah, usually he would choose somebody that is submissive, that will, will make sure that he's not exposed. And that's how it is when you're dealing with an abusive parent. And you need a
Right. And
that understands the behavior of a narcissist in court. And believe me, that's very important. I had the opportunity to speak to Judge Anthony. He has a lot of TikTok videos, and I love that man so much. And I pray that we get more judges like him in our court system, because he studied psychology. That's how he can determine between a narcissist, who's the
right.
narcissist here. Body language, the way they convincingly lie. They convincingly lie. That's a big deal to
Oh
me,
yeah.
because when you convincingly lie, you're dangerous. You're seriously
Yeah.
dangerous.
I was married to one.
Yeah. So you understand what I'm talking about. So
Yes.
like Judge Anthony always talks about that. And I told him, I mean, he's an amazing man. I mean, smart as hell. And but he studied, like I said, he studies psychology. He knows. Not all judges study psychology. In fact, a lot of them are so dumb. Um, all they have going for them is a certificate and black rope. That's pretty much all they have.
Right.
And just because you're you have it on piece of paper that you're a judge or you're an attorney doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't. In this,
Right. See,
right?
this judge didn't even know what the word elaborate meant.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't. I would
He
not.
got mad because our daughter used that word.
Right.
At 12 years old.
Wow. Wow. That speaks volume right there. But yeah,
Yeah.
honestly, that child is being abused. And again, children they're so innocent and beautiful. They can be easily manipulated.
And that's
Especially
exactly
with
what
him
he's doing.
having ADHD and stuff.
But yeah, even if he does,
Not
yeah.
he's mentally handicapped basically, and his father can coax him into just about anything he wants him to say.
Sweetheart, a narcissist can coach a judge to cover for him. Okay? So believe me when I tell you this. It doesn't matter if he has ADHD or not. They are very manipulative. And everything I'm telling you is like came from those two kids that I'm telling you about. And all they care about is to make sure that one parent who is the perpetrator is protected. Again, they're conditioned that way. And that's why a narcissist is very dangerous. Extremely,
Okay.
extremely dangerous. Yeah. Very dangerous.
Well, I know he was talking about coming over here, shooting anybody that got in his way of getting his boys back.
I know. I know. He sounds more like a malignant narcissist. So it's there's so many different types of mental illness, but see, the thing about those type of people, they're not. You can detect a bipolar because there's medication, very easy, but not a narcissist. They're very, very clever, and they know how to cover their tracks. And they will convince you, even if you know they're wrong, they will convince you until you're blue in the face that you are wrong and they are right. That is
Oh yeah,
that's a big deal, and oftentimes kids don't know that. They really don't know that.
right.
It's a normal
Not being that young.
right. Believe me, some adults don't know that either. Being involved with
Well,
an
yeah,
they don't know right away. They think, hey, well, let me be better. Let me get better. Let me do whatever I can to make this better. But no matter what you do, they're never going to see you because it's all about themselves. It's all about power
right,
control. It's all about them. And of course, the victim will get frustrated. The child will react to everything. And then the victim will also react to everything. They're walking on eggshells. They don't know what to do. So they get mad. They get angry. They burst. So if the child is retaliating, is because of what he has to deal with, because he would feel like he's walking
right,
on eggshells at all times. And then they come back and say, you're the one to blame, not the actual perpetrator. Does that make sense?
Right.
yep,
He's the victim, and you guys are the crazy ones who just are not fit to be around children.
right. That's basically what he's telling everybody.
Yeah, so there you go. It's a mental behavior that unfortunately is overlooked.
Yeah,
Yeah. You should seriously talk to other people and other attorneys, that is, and see if you can find one that understands about narcissist behavior.
okay,
I'm also asking. I actually did text Judge Anthony and asked him if he knows of anybody in other states as well. Um, I think that's important for people to know, and I honestly recommend, again, it's just my recommendation, um, for attorneys to study psychology and to be able to
okay,
push between, because you can beat a narcissist. You just have to know how to beat a narcissist. You could almost have to be a narcissist to beat a narcissist. Truly. Yeah. Because they understand each other's language. But those who are not narcissists and they study psychology, they will be able to read the body language in court, body language and behavior in court. Meaning, you can have evidence. A narcissist will always say it's lies. It's not true. They will always deny it.
That's exactly what he did.
Yeah.
yep,
They deny it convincingly. They're so calm when they're lying. So they know how to um, they know how to handle themselves under pressure. While the victim is so upset because, hey, wait a minute, that's not true. That's not true. But they see the victim as, hey, she's the crazy one and he's the calm one, so he must be saying the truth. You know? So the stakes are very clever too. When they want to get their victim, right? Their prey, they attack silently. They do not give you a heads up before they attack, right? Same thing with a narcissist.
right.
They're very calm. But my mom used to say, and my dad, the calm ones are the ones you need to be aware of more. You need to watch out from the calm ones because a dog can bark, but they don't bite.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yep.
but those are the ones you should not worry about. But the ones who don't bark are the ones that their bite is dangerous.
Christina,
Yep,
did
that's what
you
I was taught growing up.
Yep.
Christina, did you or Mr. Laylock have any further questions for us this evening?
I don't.
Okay.
Not that I can think of right off the top of my head yet.
Okay. Well, do me a favor. Would you please stay in contact with Miss G and myself? Let us know what's going on and how your case develops.
I
Sure.
sure will.
Okay. I want to thank you very much for coming on the show this evening and sharing your story. It's very much appreciated. And I'm sure all the people that have been watching live and all the people that will watch this in the future will hopefully gain something from your experiences as a parent dealing with a father, which Ms. G mentioned, believes is a narcissist, and dealing with the system, the family law system, and the CPS system there in Minnesota, the Show Me State.
Missouri.
Missouri.
Oh, right. Missouri is the Show Me State.
Yes.
He's tired.
Missouri is the Show Me State. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Anyway, thank you again, and keep in touch with us. All right.
All
No
right.
problem.
Thank you for having us on, and you have a wonderful evening.
Thank you. Well, Miss G, we're coming towards the end of the show. Any comments or questions you want to ask me this evening?
No, I need to make a comment for the viewers. I want you guys to be aware that when the police is involved because of domestic violence and the social workers are called, you get the CPS investigator at your home, and they're telling you that everything looks good. The kids look fine. They're gonna close the case and etc. And then they tell the father, you can go ahead and come into the house, no problem. That's a setup, because that happens a lot. And then what they do is they don't go tell the judge that's what they told the parent. So what they do say is that the mother allowed the abuser to come in the home. So they do monitor your home. They do know when you're in and out of the home. And 100% of the time, when there's a domestic violence case, um, the last thing you want to do is go back to the home. Whoever started the domestic violence or whoever they see that should not be around the children. So don't take the social worker or the investigator, CPS investigator's word and say, well, he or she told me so, because that's not so. Because again, they're going to lie, and it's going to be your word against theirs. And when it's their word, that's the judge listens to them, really, not you. And also another thing, when you have your first hearing and you have evidence and your court appointed attorney tells you that you're shit out of luck, your evidence is not going to help you, but you have medical records to show that you've been taking your child to the hospital all the time. I mean, to the doctor visits for checkups. And the social worker in her report or his report wrote that you do not. And because you were unable to get a call from the school, but then the school reports you to CPS because they said your phone was disconnected, but yet you have record of you communicating with the teachers about your child, and you don't do any drugs. You're literally clean of everything, never been abusing the child ever, and no criminal record against you. If that attorney tells you something like that, that's bullshit, because that is very important for that attorney to submit these evidence to contradict what the social workers wrote in their findings. The investigator worker, what they wrote in their findings. Why are they taking your child from you? Because your phone got disconnected? That shouldn't be a reason, but they're lying on the rest of the allegations because they need to make sure that your 8-year-old or 4-year-old or 3-year-old is in their custody. So again, don't listen to that attorney.
Miss G, Trent Dancy watching on YouTube is saying, ask Mr. Davis question before he shuts down. What question did Trent want asked answered? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay. Sorry, Trent. Give me a call though at 888-888-6582, and you can ask me your question, and hopefully I can give you an answer. All right. So we've come to the end of the show. Miss G, I want to thank you for co-hosting tonight. Really appreciate it. And I want to thank everybody for watching. And we'll see everyone tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Pacific time with another edition of How how to beat CPS, how to fight CPS and win. All right. Thank you. Good night, all.